Absolutely picture perfect December evening here in San Diego, California. We welcome you to America's finest city and to the Mesa and San Diego State basketball. Final tune-up before the Mountain West Conference play begins in 7 days against Air Force tonight. Aztecs hosting the Lamar Cardinals out of the Southland Conference. Alongside former Aztec basketball player Tammy Blackbird, my name is Steve Quiss. There's been ample time off now, for the Aztecs to work on some things that they badly needed to work on last time we saw them.
Really important that this team even had the time to be able to work some things in. Listen, when you've got the time off to get in the practice gym and really train, because it was a week in between games, you get to work on your offense, your defense, a lot of other skills that this team simply just has not had enough time to do.
So as of late, how fun has it been to watch freshman big Tay Simmons play night in and night out on the basketball court?
I mean, the guy is amazing. I mean, he is super impressive in terms of scoring a career-high 15 points and then matched a single-game best with 7 boards against Utah Valley just last week. But, Steve, it's his willingness and his mindset at the rim for him to be able to get up. I mean, he just gets down and just bruises with those big guys. He's not afraid of anything, and this is a good team tonight in Lamar that rebounds well, so it bodes well for him to get some time on the floor.
Yeah, hopefully more minutes than his traditional 10 here tonight against Lamar. It's the Aztecs and Lamar Cardinals from Viejas Arena. The opening tip comes your way next. Viejas Arena, Steve Quiss, Tammy Blackbird with you after a stretch of playing 4 games over a 10-day period and going 2-2. The Aztecs have had a week off to work on a few things. Tammy touched on that in our open. The last game was that 11-point win over Utah Valley on this floor last Wednesday night. That break also gave Miles Bird time to shake off the flu, and Miles Heide time to rehab a hip contusion. Both are in the starting lineup that's being announced right now inside Viejas Arena. There's Bird coming back, and it just didn't look like he had his legs against Utah Valley, and still the bench at least bailed out the starters 7 days ago.
59 points of the 77 points, Steve, came from the bench. 76%, which was the 9th highest in D1 since 1996-97. It gave a bunch of guys a chance to step up and show Dutch what they were all about. Those guys are healthy now. Miles Bird, you mentioned, not feeling well before the game. He received 2 IVs earlier that day and then also missed a couple practices, but he's back. He's shaking off the flu, and these guys are ready to go.
Just about ready to go here at Viejas Arena. Again, conference play begins in 7 days against the Air Force Academy. There are still a couple of non-conference games to go, right? After you play Air Force on the 17th, then you got to go to Phoenix and take on the #1 team of the nation on a neutral court in the Arizona Wildcats. Then it's back here the following Monday on the 22nd against a non-Division I opponent in Whittier. And then it is nothing but Mountain West Conference games again until you get into the tournament in March.
Yeah, looking ahead to that conference game, Air Force, and then, of course, Arizona. All the more important as to why this last week was really important to get everybody healthy and let them recover a little bit.
Jason Phillips, Nate Harris, Christina Esparza will be our officiating crew for this one. In all red will be the Lamar Cardinals out of Beaumont, Texas. Come in with a record of 5-3. The Aztecs in all white are 4-3. Magoon Bois to jump at center against Andrew Holyfield. Ball is up and it's tipped back, and it's LZ Harrington. And the opening possession belongs to the Aztecs. Harrington, the fabulous-looking freshman. I had a chance to stand next to him pregame, and you don't realize really how big he is. He's all of that 6'5". Bird with the first shot of the game. Missed back iron. Guath had a chance at the tip-in. Ball loose. Guath got it back. Pass underneath to Heide. He's harassed, puts it on the floor. Look at the defense for the Cardinals, and they take it away on the opening possession. Penny Baker in transition. That's one of the things they wanted to try and stop, was that transition of the Cardinals, and they will via the foul. That's Braden East. Oh, they're going to call the foul actually, on East. Beg your pardon.
That's the thing about this Lamar team, is that they're quick. They get out in fast break. You saw that quick transition right there on the turnover. San Diego State Aztecs, they got to be ready to get back, and Bird stepped up and took one.
Like the Aztecs with a little pressure in the early going here. Defense was one of the issues during that 4 games over 10 days that we talked about. The Aztecs, last Wednesday, we remarked about how they got out here with David Velasquez 45 minutes before tip-off, and we're doing defensive drills. They were at it again here today, although I didn't see Velasquez out here. But they were still running some drills. That's going to be a Lamar turnover.
Great defensive play there, and you saw Miles Heide. He was in that drop right there and making sure that he was in help side. You'll see the Aztecs make sure that they steer these guys into the middle. They want them to dribble drive middle because that's where the help is for the Aztecs. And a big guy in Heide down there, of course, Goon as well.
And Lee steals it from Harrington, and a foul on Harrington. We're 52 seconds into this game. The two teams have already combined for 5 turnovers. That'll be the first on the freshman from St. John Bosco, team foul number 1. And it's going to send the top scorer for the Cardinals, Robert Lee Jr., a junior from Flint, Michigan, to the free throw line. He scores almost 14 a game. And he's got the first points of the game for the Cardinals. Southland Conference, Beaumont, Texas. Just about an hour outside of Houston. I've had the privilege of being there. I'm not sure if you've gone through on the 10.
I've been to Lamar, yes.
You've been to Lamar.
East Texas.
All right.
Yes.
I just went through Beaumont, saw those big high school football stadiums, those district stadiums on the edge of town. Padres used to have their AA affiliate there with the likes of Benito Santiago playing there in the mid-'80s. Here's Bird. Shot clock is down to 12. Golden Gators, I think, the Beaumont Golden Gators. Bird over to Harrington. They're working for a good shot. Guath shot fake. And the leaner from on the baseline. It's out, last touch by Lamar. It's sticking with the Aztecs, and they'll get a fresh 20-second shot clock.
The thing you'll see from Lamar is quick feet. These guys are very, very good. Lamar allowed just 57 points to Texas A&M Corpus Christi and has held each of their last 3 opponents to less than 60.
Yeah.
Very good numbers there.
Guath, Harrington, Bird, Dixon, Waters, Heide are the starting 5 for the Aztecs, and Harrington, it shouldn't come as a surprise. No true freshman anywhere in the country is shooting better than him from beyond the arc. He's now 11 of 13 on the season from 3.
Get this. 83% from bonus land. He's got a 70.5 effective field goal rating, which takes into account the 3-point shot along with the deuce. Very, very strong numbers for Harrington.
And that 83% is actually underachieving for him because he was a 90 a week ago. Here's a spin move. Holyfield had it blocked by Bird. That'll be a shot clock violation. And already a 3rd turnover for the Cardinals.
The thing about Bird right there, very nicely done. Just really stood in his defensive position. Bent knees. That's the thing, man. You've got to be ready at all times. Bend knees. Just be ready to move laterally, your agility. You've got to be agile. These guys are quick on the floor.
Just over 2 minutes in, and the Cardinals have only taken 1 shot in this game. Here's Dixon Waters with a kick out. Guath is going to take a 3, and he missed front iron. He had been 4 of 7 on threes at the 7-foot sophomore till he took that one, so now he's down at 50%. And it's sticking with the Aztecs. They'll inbound in front of the Lamar bench just to the left of us. Dixon Waters will do the honors. Aztecs, as we mentioned, 4-3. They've had 6 days off since beating Utah Valley last Wednesday. The bench was amazing with those 59 points of the 77.
Nice.
Into Guath, the lob, and he throws it down.
He just read the defense there. Both guys chased the ball, and when you chase the ball, Goon's just going to make a run. He's going to point up high. All he has to do is point. His guy's going to lead him to the bucket, and that's what he did.
Terrific assist by Miles Bird. Here's a deep 3 by Lee, and he buries it, and we're even at 5. Well, he's 43% on threes, and he leads the Cardinals. That's his 19th of the year. A hard pick by Guath, no call. Lee ran into it. Guath has it. Nearly threw it away into Dixon. Waters stepped into the 2. And look at Heide. How about the hip contusion? That's a thing of the past. Bird wants a screen from Guath. 9 to shoot. Guath puts it on the deck. They swipe at it. Look at that handle there, and that's going to be Aztec ball. It went off a Lamar player. As Guath was losing the handle, it ricocheted off of somebody in red and out of bounds. But the Aztecs will have 4 to shoot here.
Lamar's managers are telling the officials to challenge, and they're being pretty adamant about it, but no challenge here as the Aztecs got only 4 seconds left.
Yeah, I wouldn't do it in this situation.
Not the situation to do it.
Dixon Waters straightaway three is no good, and Cody Pennybaker clears the rebound. He's got good size for a point guard. Bounces it low post with the entry pass, and he got knocked out of there by East to keep it alive on the perimeter. Here's a three, and Holyfield missed it. And on the offensive rebound attempt by Errol White, he's fouled.
It was a heck of a box out, too, by Miles Heide. If you talk about a guy that will put a body on somebody and push back, Heide getting after it. Good to see him out here playing. You mentioned it, Steve. He went down with that hip contusion. He got undercut pretty hard. I mean, he took a hard fall against Utah Valley.
That came at the 5:27 mark of the first half, and he did not return. He had a brace on his back. Actually saw him wandering the hall about an hour and a half earlier today with that brace on, but it's off for him to play. Foul on East. That was the second on East. Bird streaking down, changes hands with a lay-in.
Yeah, he saw the lane. Nobody stepped up and stopped ball. He kept going. He had a guy in the corner deep that he could have passed it off to, but nobody stepped up and stopped him.
Miles Bird didn't make a shot on 5 attempts against Utah Valley. He was battling the flu. He got it out 19 and a half minutes, did get a couple of steals. Open three by Lee. No offensive rebound here. And that's Yanko Bulic. And it's going to be a tie-up, and that'll take us to a break. 15 minutes, 51 seconds to go. It'll be Aztec ball when we return. First half of play just underway. State by. Well, turnovers have been an issue for both teams here at the first media break. They've both turned it over 3 times, but what has really been a bright spot for the Aztecs so far has been 5 offensive rebounds. As a matter of fact, they don't have a defensive rebound yet, Tammy, and they have 5 second chance points. So they're parlaying those offensive rebounds into points.
Yeah, taking advantage of it. Goon has 2 offensive boards. Heidi's got 1. They've given 2 to the team.
And Heidi's got a rebound right there on the defensive end. Their first one comes after the first media timeout. You don't see that much. Here's Bird, cross court to Dixon Waters. Sean Newman is in coming out of the timeout, and Dixon Waters buries the shot from the outside. That's a 3, and the lead is 5. And that's going off of Dixon Waters. Good job of that corner defending.
It's remarkable, really, before Dixon Waters. In that Idaho State game that he played, it had been 591 days since he played a game. That was in the Sweet 16 against UConn at the NCAA tournament. You
kind of forget, too, Jeremiah Oden, who's out there for the first time tonight, also went just over 500 days, too, with an injury. Knight, catch and shoot 3. That's BB Knight, redshirt junior from Katy, Texas. He scores a little over 5 a game. He makes it a 2-point game.
The thing about Knight is he'll stretch you out, right? So he's going to give this team a lot of space, but he's also going to shoot long range. You got to get out and contest that long shot.
Newman to Heide, lines up the 3, missed it. It's a one and done, rebounded by Bulic. Streaking down the floor is King Wilhite, who's in for the first time. He's the king. Remember, it's better to know him and not need him than to need him and not know him. And the 3, and he gets the friendly bounce. He's the king. It's better to know him and not need him than to need him and not know him.
How could you not know that jingle? If you watch any amount of TV.
The people watching us in Beaumont right now are like, what are they talking about? But every San Diegan has a smile right now. Here's Newman. Not much of a score at 3 points a game. Played down to that South Louisiana Tech. Oh, what a block there by Holyfield. They are a really good team at blocks, but there's another second chance opportunity that's successful for the Aztecs as Heide gets the bucket. That's 6 offensive rebounds, leading to 7 second chance points, and Knight buries it.
He's just a pure shooter. That ball releases out of his hand. He's got beautiful backspin on the ball. It's a rhythm shot for him.
That gives
Lamar
the lead. It's our 4th lead change. We've been tied once, and maybe Aztec fans are not chuckling at anymore. They're thinking, oh, here we go again. Dixon Waters. Takes a little while for this team to get going. Driving the baseline and scoring off the window, Dixon Waters.
That's a great catch and rip move by Miles Bird to then beat his defender and make the pass to the corner. Another great fake by Dixon Waters.
And he got another 3. That time it's Holyfield. And this is going to be Aztec basketball. And it's a 3-point lead here for Lamar, their biggest of the game, as they get Penny Baker back in, and Jaden Gambrell, the redshirt freshman from Houston, comes in for the first time.
Now, San Diego State's going to have to figure out a way to solve that 5-for-8 Lamar shooting from downtown. They're getting some bonus points. Already Lamar with 15 points off of the 3-ball.
Yeah, every one of Lamar's made field goals has been a 3. As a matter of fact, they've only attempted 1-2 so far. Holyfield took it. And Davis Jr. now in to try and ignite the offense, and he's fouled. How about Lamar averaging 6.5 3-pointers a game? They have 5 in the first 7 minutes.
Well, B.J. Davis just checked into the game, and this is a substitution that you'll see Coach Dusher make because they get incredible energy and the momentum switch. And
here's one of the top shooters from the free throw line in the country coming in, and B.J. Davis now 29 of 30 at the line. That's 97%. Tops in the Mountain West Conference, 8th nationally.
He's a bench player. He's had 5 straight double-figure games, 18 points against Utah Valley. Ranks number 1 in that nation, as you just said. Those 12 points per game off the bench. Absolutely huge, yeah.
And 5 straight games scoring in double figures. That's the second such stretch of his career. It's in his 3rd year here out of Modesto Christian. Wilhite into traffic. Bounce pass to a cutting Knight who tried to poster Pharaoh Compton, and he missed. Dixon make it to Goreville, bringing it back in. Here's Oden trying to take his guy off the dribble, change his hands. No! Compton tried to clean it up, and he's fouled. They're going to get Jaden Gambrell. Some athleticism here in the early going.
Well, I like that move by J.O. to the rim. First of all, he put his head down. He went hard, did not settle for the shot from the elbow or wherever he was when he was thinking about pulling up. Little hezzy, and he beat his guy. But then I really like the effort by Pharaoh to get to the rim once he knew that Oden was going to go to the bucket for the possible miss. Pharaoh nearly had a follow-up dunk on that. Great effort.
Pharaoh Compton makes his first from the free throw line. You know who we haven't seen yet is Tay Simmons. You would think after the career night he had on the boards and scoring last Wednesday that perhaps Dutch would get him in a little earlier here.
And right now, San Diego State is beating Lamar on the boards 9-3. Tay Simmons, a guy that will get active on the boards.
Wilhite, they're going to force a turnover perhaps. The guys on the floor for the 50-50 ball. Lamar, a step back, 3 on the way, no from Wilhite. Cleared by Davis. To Goreville, a bounce pass, trying to lead Compton, and it got stolen. Picked by Bulich. Will lead to a run out. Got blocked on the other end by the Aztecs defensively. Gambrell has it. Straightaway 3 is no good. Now the Aztecs survive that crazy sequence. No worse for the wear. Tied at 17. Our 3rd tie of this first half. De Goreville over the top for Compton, and he got fouled by Bulich. And that'll take us to a break. Aztecs and the Lamar Cardinals out of the Southland Conference going toe-to-toe on this Wednesday night. Conference play is 7 days away when Air Force comes to the building. Tied at 17. Well, it looks like it's going to be another one of these grind-them-out kind of games here. 11:40 to go, first half of play. San Diego State 17. Lamar 17. It's a Lamar team that is 220th in the NCAA net rankings. The Aztecs have moved up in the last week. They were sitting there. Remember last week when we talked to you at 127, they're up to 93 when I checked here today. Still a long way to go as Compton misses the free throw. Pharaoh's had a good start to the season. The sophomore. Again, I don't see Simmons at all. One of the only guys who has not got into the Aztec lineup here, as they've usually been going about 11 deep. That one got tipped, so not a violation. Low into the game for Lamar. That's Ian Lowe. His brother plays at Kentucky. Look at the good size here on Bulich, 6'10 senior. Over to Bulich, turns the corner, and then DeGorville with a foul as he went up. So he got past Compton and then DeGorville the foul, and he'll have to earn him the hard way.
Yeah, tough take. And that's what he's going to do. He's going to put the ball on the floor, especially if he gets the ball around the free throw line. Not necessarily his shot too far away from the rim. He's pretty comfortable, but he likes to get downhill. He likes to get to the rim once he touches the ball.
Here's the kid from Montenegro at the line, and he makes the first one. Janko Bulich, just a point a game, a little over 3 rebounds a game for the Cardinals, who actually opened Southland Conference play on Saturday and lost to Texas A&M Corpus Christi. And right as I said, guess who comes in? Tay Simmons right at the 11:15 mark.
You'll see J.O. play in front of Simmons. It's not a surprise,
No.
but I didn't think it was going to be very long before Simmons came in after this last media timeout. Not surprised that Dutch goes to him.
So now with him coming in, that is the 11th Aztec to play here in the first half. Davis over to DeGorville. Let's check those bench points early, huh? And it's 11 for Lamar, just 4 for the Aztecs. And B.J. Davis pulls up for the mid-range shot, and it's rebounded by Lee after the miss. On the outlet in transition is Lowe. Pennybaker over to Lowe. Holyfield, wing 3, no good. Rebounded by Compton. We'll get about 3 of those a game. Second rebound for Farrow Compton. Look at B.J. Davis. The basket and the foul. Boy, he has had some spectacular plays. I think about last week where he dribbled behind his back, did the spin move against Utah Valley, and scored the bucket early in the game.
Here's the thing about B.J. Davis is from his freshman to his sophomore year, and remember, he started last year. He went from 1 point a game to 9 points a game from freshman to sophomore year and averaged 3 rebounds last year, about a half a rebound his freshman year. Now he comes off the bench, and he's not starting, but he's getting 12 points a game, so he's 3 more points a game from being a bench player, and he's still averaging about 2.5 boards. And he's got to be feeling good about his game because he is one of the best players on this team, yet he's not starting.
Made every one of his free throws again. Perfect at the free throw line here today. Another 3 for 3. B.J. Davis is now 31 of 32 at the free throw line, 8th in the nation. That's going to go off low, and it's out of bounds, and it'll be Aztec basketball. That is the 4th turnover for Lamar. It's their first in a while. If you were with us before the first media timeout, the first, minute of the game, both teams had turned it over 3 times apiece. A little pressure in the backcourt. Guoth to DeGorville. Get a chance to meet Taj DeGorville at halftime. We'll sit down with John Schaefer on our halftime show. Harrington, bounce pass to Simmons. Double team comes. Back out to the fellow freshman Harrington. Turns the corner, elevates, missed the shot, and it's rebounded by Robert Lee Jr. Out to Holyfield, and trying to take the charge is Davis, and Davis takes the charge. What in the Tim Shelton's going on, B.J. Davis?
This is why I said what I said about B.J. Davis coming off the bench. This is what you get. Guy steps up, gets back in transition, takes one for the team. Great take, and he saw it coming. Here he is right here. He just has to get there and turn, and that's what he did. He goes, okay, where do I need to be? You saw his vision. He turned his head. He got to his spot, turned around, and took it.
Two-point lead for the Aztecs. You remember Tim Shelton all those years. Nobody took more charges in a season than him. Pennybaker comes away with a steal. Wilhite. Simmons is on him on the perimeter. And on the bounce pass inside, we're going to have a reach-in foul. I think it's going to be against Harrington, and it will be on the low block. Lamar has missed their last 5 shots. They don't have a field goal in the last 3:58. But the Aztecs have not been able to pull away. It's just a 2-point game.
Yeah, and I think, remember, Lamar is a defensive-minded team. I mean, the fact that they're on a drought, it's the defense that helps them. They are currently leading the Southland Conference in defense. They're ranked 12th nationally in scoring defense.
And they've showed some flashes of brilliance. I mean, on their resume this season was a win at Montana, one of the better Big Sky teams. On the inbound, that's a 3 for Robert Lee Jr. And again, told you 43% on threes, and he's made 2 of 4 in this game. Davis trying to get downhill, and Davis with a great take. He has 7 in the early going. Aztecs back out in front. That's our 9th lead change here in the first half. Will Height. Davis wouldn't let him go by. Penny Baker with a spin move into traffic, and he's going to draw a foul. Aztecs are going to commit what is their 5th team foul. It's going to be the 2nd on Taj DeGorville. Miles Bird will come back in, and DeGorville will sit with the 2 personals. Again, a quick inbound, other side, and another 3. My goodness.
I don't know if they were ready for that quick throw in.
Lee has 11 to lead all scores. Again, he's their leading scorer at 13.8 a game. Guath, extra pass, Simmons got fouled. Oh. Thinking it was a clean block there was Spencer Ezuru. I'm sorry. Ezuru.
Ezuru.
There we go.
I think he got Simmons with the body. He blocked the shot, but got him with that body there.
So Ezuru, junior from Cerritos College, played in the southern section, Paramount High School, so a homecoming for him, not too far away, probably 90 miles, and Simmons misses at the free throw line. Zuru will sit down along with Penny Baker. And so here's Simmons, averaging just 10 minutes a game. A lot of people after his performance against Utah Valley starting to talk about got to get him in there more. And I'm not in disagreement, to be honest with you. It took about 9 minutes for him to get into the contest. He was the 11th player inserted in the first half by Dutch. Will Height missed it, tapped out. Guath gets rid of it to B.J. Davis. Aztecs in transition. Bird over to Davis, lines up the 3 and makes it. Oh, the kid is having a great December. 10 points off the bench for a guy who gets 12.1 off the bench, number 1 nationally in points off the bench.
You just can't overstate his role off the bench as being more important. I mean, it's immeasurable.
Cross-court pass, catch and shoot 3, missed by Errol White. Aztecs with a 2-point lead coming up on 7.5 to go first half. Bird's going to take a deep 3, and it's good! Miles Bird! Averaging a shade over 9 points a game. Flew is out of his system, and a little bump. Guath is going to get called for the foul on Bulich. Davis in double figures for the 6th straight game. That is the longest stretch of his career. And a timeout on the floor. Break as you admire Bird's 3. As B.J. Davis in double figures for the 6th consecutive game, the longest stretch of his Aztec career. And Ryan Dutcher in his 9th season, who recently picked up win number 200. His Aztecs are out to a 30-25 lead. They're enjoying a 7-0 run over the last 105, and they made their last 3 field goals. The inbound goes to White, and a nice bounce pass from big to big. Holyfield was the intended target, but it's a turnover. The 6th such of the first half for the Cardinals.
Big numbers by B.J. Davis. And then after he hit a 3, Miles Bird hit a 3. Miles Bird, of course, and this is his 75th game, the most tenured player on this team. And this Aztecs team goes 27-6, Steve, when he hits 40%. Right now, he's shooting 66%. He's pretty hot, feeling good.
Guath puts it on the floor, driving the take, and it's blocked by Holyfield. Starting to break back the other way. Gets it over to White. White streaks in, and Bird another block, but Holyfield there to clean it up. This team is really good when it comes to blocks. Both the Aztecs and Lamar. And here's Davis looking for a dozen, and Davis has got a dozen in a foot race against Bulich. And there he beats him. A dozen for Davis. Right at his average, and we still got 6:23 and counting to go in the first half.
They'd love nothing but another defensive stop here against Lamar, and they get it. Nice box out by Simmons. You see, this is why he's in the game and gets minutes. Shot goes up, he finds somebody, he pushes back, he's strong enough. The guy is just, he doesn't look like a freshman. He doesn't play like a freshman. He'll hold you back, and you got to wrap around or go over the top, and that's what he did. He draws the foul.
Miles Heidi's about ready to come back in. They actually called that foul on the Aztecs, which will be their 5th. And so at first, in my box here, they have the foul going against White as first, but they'll have to change this here.
I think they're good. No,
you're right,
Simmons,
against Lamar.
Yeah, Simmons. Yeah, it goes against Lamar because Simmons is shooting. He's the guy that boxed out and held him off. But
yeah, it's the 9th team foul.
Right.
Beg your pardon, but Davis goes off. I naturally looked up, I saw the red, and I thought it was the Aztecs. All right, here's Simmons at the line after the foul by White, his first. Team foul 9. And Simmons makes the first. All of his points have come from the free throw line. He's got 2. Simmons a career-high 15 points, career-tying 7 rebounds in just 13 minutes against Utah Valley. And he can make his free throws. He also went 6 of 7 at the line in that game. That's pretty good for a freshman big. Gets them both there. Stretches the lead out to the biggest of the night for the Aztecs at 7. Lee, kick out. Wilhite elevates for the 3, and down it goes.
Ooh.
And again, they average 6.5 threes a game. They have made 8 in the first half of the Lamar Cardinals.
Both teams are shooting well from 3. The only thing is Lamar, they've taken twice as many, and they've made twice as many as the Aztecs.
Dixon Waters over to Bird, sets his feet for another 3, and that one clanks off. Heidi, another offensive rebound, 8 for the first half for the Aztecs. 2 more second chance points. They've got 10 second chance points off of those 8 offensive rebounds. Wilhite launches and misses, and a foul as Holyfield went up. Wow, where would the Aztecs be with the relentless pursuit of the basketball on the offensive glass?
Well, I'll tell you, Miles Heidi twice has been hanging around the rim. One time his teammate got his shot blocked, but he was right there for the left-handed putback, and right then and there you saw the offensive board went up with the left hand pretty strong. That time he used the glass. Perfect timing to use the glass because he had a guy coming over to try to block his shot.
Simmons will sit. Jeremiah Oden will come back in. Holyfield will tuck in the jerseys. A 6'10 senior, local kid from Beaumont, Texas. Like to see that when you put the fence around the local kids.
Keep guys at home, right?
Yep. Off the miss, Bird was trying to get the rebound, and it's going to be Aztec basketball. Last touch by Lamar. It looks like Errol White touched it last. And they're also going to whistle a foul, which will be the 10th on Lamar. So 2 shots on the other end. Aztecs in the double bonus with 5:28 to go. That's going to be the second on Errol White. In a moment, B.B. King will come back in for Lamar along with Cody Pennybaker. And here's Bird to shoot the 12th and 13th free throws of the first half for San Diego State. Just looking at those bench points again, and the Aztecs, 17 of them. We'll reiterate the bench with 59 of the 77 points scored against Utah Valley. That is 76.6% of the team's points. It's the highest percentage from the bench since at least the 1996-97 season. And those 59 bench points were the highest total since the bench dropped 57 on Air Force back in 2020. So you get it, one is total points, the other is percentage of points.
And then the Aztecs, who average 42 bench points a game, that ranks 6th in the nation.
On that night when they dropped all those points against Air Force, it only turned out to be 58% of the points that came from the bench as opposed to the 76 against Utah Valley. Turnover for Lamar, and they're starting to mount here in this first half. That's already their 8th. Eight-point lead for San Diego State, their biggest of the first half. Again, we've had 11 lead changes in this first half and 4 ties. Newman, handoff from Heidi. Heidi sets the screen. Newman's going to shoot straight away 3, and it's good. He only averages 3 points a game. He's not much of a scorer, but hits that one.
Did you say Newman on purpose?
I did.
I think that was
somebody
on
caught it. Newman. You knew I'd have to go the year with a Seinfeld reference.
I'm a Seinfeld fan.
Bird knocked it out of bounds, sticking with Lamar. 17 to shoot. Aztecs with their largest lead of the contest at 11. And we saw them get up double digits, eventually win by double digits against Utah Valley, but Utah Valley still gave them a fight in the second half. Screen set. Lee Jr. looking for help. 8 to shoot. Knight fires it up. He missed it. And it's rebounded by Dixon Waters. Newman leading the transition break.
Took an off-balance shot because the crowd counted down the shot clock, which was the wrong number. He had 8 ticks and didn't need to force that off-balance shot. Well done by the Aztec crowd.
Yep, the show doing a nice job. You should put that in the box score.
Assist to the show.
Exactly. At least give them some plus-minus. Missed shot. Dixon Waters over the top into J.O. one-on-one to a cutting Heidi. Back out to Dixon Waters. Little jab step, but a shot. Missed it. And the rebounded by Bulich. Aztecs +6 on the boards. Here's a 3. Knight, no. Again, they've made 8 threes in the first half on 18 attempts. That's 44%.
Newman called for the screen.
Yep.
Got it, too.
Missed back iron, and Dixon Waters bumps in to Robert Lee Jones. It's a foul, and it will take us to a break. 3:31 to go, first half of play. Aztecs with their largest lead of the first half. They're up 11. There's the Aztec pep band. Steve Quist, Tammy Blackburn back with you courtside. Viejas Arena on a Wednesday night. Next Wednesday night is the start of conference play. Air Force will be in this building, and then we'll break for a couple of more non-conference games. One against Arizona in Phoenix, then Whittier on Monday. And then another 8-day break before it's back to Mountain West Conference play December 30th at San Jose State. Nothing but conference games the rest of the way. Shooting free throws here will be Robert Lee Jr. Has had an outstanding first half. He's got a dozen. Back to those bench points. We were perusing the box score at the break, and you noted that 20 of San Diego State's 41 points have come from the bench again.
Almost half. And the other night against Utah Valley, they had 3 guys in double figures off the bench with those points. And bench points, Steve, has always been a staple of this program. 40 times or more. 40 or more bench points, 36 times since 1996-97. 50 or more bench points, 7 times. It is a program that goes to the bench with Steve Fisher and now Brian Dutcher.
Here's Bird getting the start. Remember when he last played and we last saw him, he missed all 5 of his shots. He was battling the flu. He played 19 and a half minutes, but Miles Bird is the second in double figures as he makes his second 3. He's got 10. Davis with 12. In the corner, they leave Holyfield open, and he missed. They've grown cold from the outside.
Yeah, they've missed a little bit from the long range the last couple times.
Oden wants a 3 in and out. No field goals for Lamar in the last 3:16. 12-point lead for the Aztecs. That is a hard take and a bucket. That is B.B. Knight.
That's a
he
nice,
earned that one, huh?
Nice baseline move, too. I mean, when you got your guys beat baseline, if you're not there for help, and he muscled that one up and in.
He's a redshirt junior from Katy, Texas. Oden will go out. That's the first foul on Oden. And we get Simmons back in, who logged 5 minutes and 47 seconds in the first half. Completing the three-point play there is Knight. A 9-point game with 2:41 to go. Knight with 9. He happens to be the second leading scorer, and he's doing it off the bench. They lost Davis, and then Davis, oh man, he got fouled, but almost acrobatically had a chance for it to go in. Man, he's got cat-like reflexes, doesn't he?
It was just such good connection there on that cherry pick. I mean, heck of a call there for him to just, I mean, he had his defender on the inside of him.
Fouls on BB Knight, and automatic is Davis. Perfect again from the line, 4 for 4 to start this one here in the first half.
2 minutes, 39 seconds left before the half. The Aztecs 175-9 in its last 184 games at home, win leading at half.
And that inside of 5 minutes, number 2, is even better than that. Here's Lowe probing the defense. Newman picks him up. Lowe's brother plays at Kentucky after starting his career at Pittsburgh. Holyfield. He'll take the 3 and he'll make it. That is their 9th 3-point make of the first half.
These guys are impressive from downtown.
They are.
They get the bonus coverage. Their team effective field goal percentage has got to be high, considering they shoot as well as they do from 3 as a team.
They're within 8 at the 2-minute mark. Cross-court pass, Bird runs the baseline. Acrobatic move, and it almost went in. That would have defied the laws of physics had it gone down. I had a daughter that graduated here in the engineering program in May. That would have been her final project if that thing went in. Figure out how. Yep, so she could get her master's. Here's Bird at the line. Chance at a dozen points here in the first half for Miles Bird. Little slow start to the season. The Mountain West Conference preseason player of the year. 6'6" junior who dipped his toe into the NBA draft last year, only coming back. Watch this thing. Oh.
Just could not engineer to get that thing down. You see what I did there?
There you go. I owe you one more Newman then. You're good at this. DeGorville's going to come back in with 2 fouls here in a moment. Bird. And DeGorville puts his hand up. He's going to take Simmons' place. So his time on the floor was ephemeral. There's your SAT word, kids. Short-lived. You can thank Steve and Tammy when you get in, because it's hard to get into San Diego State nowadays. And there's their lose it or lose it timeout called by Lamar with 1:50 to go.
I'm just used to hearing the word ephemeral when it comes to fashion and style.
Oh, nice. Hey,
right?
That's good, yeah.
Yeah.
Timeout here at the 1:50 mark.
Steve, we got a really good crowd. You know, we were talking earlier today about, what kind of crowd would come out. Beautiful day here in San Diego. Easy to, just park here on campus and get here. And you think about what this home crowd has meant to this program and under Dutcher, and we were talking about him last game. Nobody does it better than Brian Dutcher, great coaching staff. 112-15 is a record under the Brian Dutcher era, and 228-30 in the last 258 games played at Steve Fisher Court right here in Viejas Arena, where the crowd and the community have just continued to support this Aztecs program. Of course, that great run to the Final Four, the national championship game, and season ticket sales, just it's really hard to get a ducat.
It is. And the women's crowd on Sunday, I did the Pacific game, was outstanding too. One of their largest non-field trip crowds. And congratulations to the women today. They go to Manhattan, Kansas, a field trip game for the Wildcats. So half the town of Manhattan is in the arena, and the Aztec women win it.
An 11-point win.
Blocked by Davis. Davis has it with numbers in front of him. Davis over to Newman, and he got his defender in the air and picks up the foul as Pennybaker will commit the foul, and 3 shots are likely coming here. They'll discuss to see. They might go to the monitor to check. So it is on Pennybaker. They said it should be 3 fouls said our official, but they're going to go and look at it here just to confirm, in fact, that it is a 3-shot foul. And I couldn't really see, but I would guess that he was. Let's see right here if you can tell with this angle. There's the block. Davis comes away with it. And then, oh yeah. Unless they get another angle that says his toe was on that line.
I think he knew his toe was close. Did you see him turn his foot sideways? A lot of guys do that. A lot of players do that.
IQ,
Oh yeah, they know where they are, and that's the thing about your footwork and your handwork is that you gotta understand, and you see that a lot. They'll adjust their foot inward because they don't want their toe to touch the line.
Here's Sean Newman. Despite shooting 24% from the field to open the season, kid's a perfect 10 for 10 at the free throw line here. So they confirm that the ruling on the floor of the 3-shot foul. And so 3 shots are coming here for Newman.
And by the way, men's basketball, we talk so much about defense, a defensive culture. You just mentioned the women playing in Manhattan, Kansas against Kansas State. That 11-point win, Steve, in quarter number 2 and quarter number 3, they held Kansas State to 8 points each quarter, under double digits in 2 quarters.
That is a Big 12 team. Not an easy place to go, especially when you played on Sunday. Quick turnaround. There's a good chance they're back in San Diego right now after playing earlier today.
Yeah, they had an early tilt. It was 9 a.m. for us here on the Pacific Coast. 11 a.m.
Aztecs are 17 of 20 in the first half, and when Alvin Brooks, the head coach of Lamar, sees the score sheet at half, he's not going to like that. Harassing defense, Penny Baker. Will Height steps into the 3 with Newman closing.
That was a good rhythm shot.
Davis comes away with it. +6 on the board. The Aztecs. Newman! Missed it. Holyfield. Oh, he's killing my Seinfeld reference game today. Will Height looking at Alvin Brooks, who was a great point guard here at Lamar. God, he led him to 3 wins and 2 losses in the NCAA tournament. The head coach, when he was here, the all-time leader in assists, also got the Lamar Cardinals to a Sweet 16 in the early 80s. Chance at a 3 here, and it's good. That is their 10th three-point make in the first half, and it's a 10-point game.
They're shooting over 45% from downtown, 10 of 22.
And the Aztecs will spend their use it or lose it timeout. It'll be a 30 with 29.4 to go.
They've scored 41 points, and 30 of them are from bonus coverage.
The Aztecs just kind of want to slow down here. They haven't had a field goal in the last 2:47. Lagoon Guath will check into the ball game here to give him a little bit of height on the other end, some size. Again, Air Force in here next Wednesday night. Mountain West Conference opener, and then back to a couple of non-conference games before December 30th on the road at San Jose State. The Aztecs are the unanimous favorites to win the regular season championship. And boy, with a net rating of 93 today, there's not a lot of room for error the rest of the way out unless you're able to knock off the number 1 team in the nation next Saturday. But again, you'll have a conference game before you even start thinking about the Arizona Wildcats, who are unbelievable right now. I mean, a lot of people have talked about how good Michigan is. Arizona, I was trying to watch as an Arizona alum that Auburn game the other day. They bored me to death in the first half. They were up 31 points. It was like, I'll go back to watching football, right? The Indiana-Ohio State game. 29.4 to go. DeGorville with the inbound. Davis will bring it into the front court. Difference between the shot clock and the game clock is a little over 5 seconds. Look at Davis with the handles here, go to work on Lee. I think Guath is going to set a screen here shortly. Whether Davis uses it, we'll see. DeGorville into the corner. Shot fake, Newman, and he won't get it to fall. And a chance for Lamar to end on a strong note. Penny Baker off the window, no. And that's how this first half ends. Darn good first half for the Aztecs offensively. 51 points and getting another 25 from their bench. I guess that's going to be the recipe this season. 10-point lead for San Diego State here at the break. Aztecs with a 51-41 lead here. The bench again with 25 of the 51 points for San Diego State. Dutch wound up playing 11. And a couple of reminders before Tammy tells us what they were talking about at half. But the Aztecs have won, and wouldn't you know it, I just lost it, that little note. But since leading at half, San Diego State is 175-9 in their last 184 games when leading at half. So what did Dutch tell the team? That's kind of stuff we touched upon in the first half.
Really, don't allow them to get out into their fast break. It's a really good fast break game. Keep them in the half court. Continue to grind. This is going to be a battle. I think every single one of these games is going to be a battle. And then no one-on-one offensively. He feels that these guys are chasing the Aztecs, and so they want to keep moving the ball and working it around and just play their half-court game.
And I was right, even though I kicked it underneath the desk, 175-9. See, you read it, and you had left a lasting impression on me that I could remember that. So the Aztecs 175-9 in their last 184 home games when leading at half. Some pretty darn good performances you might have seen in the highlights. It's good to see Miles Bird fresh off the flu. Remember, he went 0 for 5. Last game against Utah Valley. He only made 3 of 5 shots in the first half alone, a couple of threes. He was perfect at the line, 12 points. But the real hero again in the first half, much like he was a week ago tonight against Utah Valley, was one B.J. Davis, who had 14 points off the bench. He made all 5 of his free throws. Aztecs with 8 offensive rebounds in this game. That is half the total of rebounds that this Lamar University team has. They've got 16. The Aztecs have 8, and 8 on the offensive boards, which have led to 10 second chance points. Let's see if they can grind here the rest of the way out and exit the building with a 5-3 record.
Steve, speaking of grind, I think it's the first 5 minutes for me, first maybe 4 to 6 minutes for me with the Aztecs to see if they can set the tempo. They want to control the pace of the game. They can get out and run. Let these guys run. But they've got to start hot because I think they've only made one of their last 7 shots, have the Aztecs. A little bit of a drought there for them.
In that first half, Lamar shot 36%, 12 of 33, but what kept them in the ballgame is 30 of their 41 points have come via 10 three-pointers, and they're a team that averaged 6.5 three-point shots a game, 10 makes in the first 20 minutes on 22 attempts.
The other thing, too, that they can continue to do is get to the free throw line. They've been there 20 times, 17 of 20. Shooting over that about 85%.
So we change sides. Aztecs will have the opening possession of the second half. Their biggest lead has been 13. That came with 93 seconds to go in the first half at 51-38. Working for a good shot here into Guath. Guath over the top. And he's got points in the paint for the Aztecs there. At his points, 17 and 18 in the paint for the Aztecs.
Goon, he's a big guy. He's 7 feet. He's not afraid to step away from the basket. You've seen him shoot the 3. You also see him shoot from that elbow spot. Not afraid to go long range or a mid-range jumper.
East took his eye off that entry pass by White, and it's a turnover for Lamar. Lamar's 5-3 on the season. On Saturday, in their win against, they lost actually to Texas A&M Corpus Christi, but on Saturday their field goal defense broke down in the second 20 minutes. Corpus Christi made 64% of their shots in the second half, so if the Aztecs can do that, they'll get out of here with a win easily. Guath sets up for a 3, and he's missed both of them here in this game. Again, he came in shooting 4 of 7 from beyond the arc. Here's Holyfield with Dixon Waters right on his hip. Leading scorer was Lee in the first half. 13 for Lamar. Holyfield missed back iron. Guath is the rebound. That's his 3rd of this contest. Bird turns the corner on his man to a streaking Grace Dixon Waters. Another assist for Miles Bird. That's his 3rd.
Great pass, great cut. Good connection by those 2 guys.
Dixon Waters has 7 points, and Alvin Brooks has to call a timeout, and that'll be the first media timeout here of this second half of play. 18:20 to go in regulation. Aztecs with a 55-41 lead over the Lamar Cardinals at Viejas. That was our first timeout of this second half called by Lamar, so they'll have 2 remaining. You get an extra media break. It's on the first timeout of the second half, so there'll be another media break here inside of 16 minutes. But Alvin Brooks didn't like something, and I don't blame him. And they recover the possession here, but there's 8 to shoot. Turning the corner is Lee on Bird. Fights through the defense, changed hands, missed it. And it's Dixon Waters. That got kicked by White on the bounce pass attempt down the floor.
Well, the reason why Alvin Brooks called a timeout is just he just was not appreciating the team effort. And we talked about the Aztecs getting the first, good start, the first 5 minutes, setting the tempo. It was important, and they did that, and that's why you got the other guy calling the timeout. It is no better thing to do than to make a coach call an early timeout in the half.
Alvin Brooks is in his 5th season in charge of the Lamar Cardinals. He was an assistant at Houston under Kelvin Sampson. And another lob from Bird to Magoon Guaf. That's 4 assists for Bird. Those 2 have hooked up twice. And a foul on Heidi in the low post on East on the reach-in. 16-point game, and now the Aztecs starting to play that basketball we would expect in these games here in December when you invite an opponent like Lamar or Troy or Utah Valley in. Heidi with his first team foul either side of the second half. Lee Jr. averaging almost 14 points a game. He had 13 in the first half. Penny Baker, and he just turned it over. Bounced it to Magoon Guaf. Here's Bird back the other way. Bird lays it in. That was just too easy.
That's the thing about pressure. When you're going to pressure these guys, you're going to force them to turn the ball over, make a difficult pass, get in the passing lane, and then you're going to run your fast break and convert.
14 for Miles Bird, who came in averaging a shade over 9 points per game. He hadn't really got it going yet, but it's in there and it's coming. Here's White. White drove to the free throw line. Penny Baker picked it up. That was tipped. He can do that. Penny Baker spins. 3 to shoot. Back out Holyfield. Got his defender in the air. Lined up the 3. Missed it. Rebounded by Heidi.
Another fast break opportunity here. If nothing's there, they'll go for secondary. Good tip by Lamar. Good hands off of Bird's pass.
Half dozen rebounds for Heidi now. Turnover for the Aztecs. Their 6th of the game. 3 by Lee is no good. And Magoon Guaf has the rebound. Aztecs are +9 on the boards here with just under 16 and a half to go in the second half. LZ Harrington and a walk. They're trying to set the screen and hand it off, and Heidi with the walk for turnover number 7. And so Lamar gets the basketball. By the way, did you see those Aztec shoes that Luka Doncic was wearing the other day?
I did not.
No, he's wearing. I guess he breaks out a different brand of college basketball team since he didn't go there, and he was kind of teasing that he would go back to Arizona when his playing career was over because of all the G League guys that were going back from the G League to the pros. But yeah, he had these fantastic Aztec shoes on. I've been meaning to bring it up. It's been about a couple of weeks. Little arm bar there, but they're going to get a foul on Harrington, the freshman, on Lee. Yeah, these sweet little kicks. Just Google it, you can see it. Nice looking shoes. Sean Newman Jr. back in. First action of the second half of the first half for Newman. He wound up scoring 6 points in 12 minutes. He did not have an assist, and that's what he does best.
But he played 12 good minutes, and his coach is really proud of him for believing in himself and having the confidence. Dutcher talked about that after the Utah Valley game, and when asked a question by a reporter about Newman and what kind of season he's having, he says he's just playing through it. It's tough, but he said he's a guy that started at his former school, and now he's come here limited minutes, but he's believed in himself and he's contributing.
Dixon Waters rises up for points 8 and 9. It was an NBA-type move right there. Lee pulls the trigger on a deep 3 in and out, and Bird is there for the rebound, pushes it ahead to Dixon Waters, but it got stolen by Lee. And underneath, White let his defender go by and easily puts it off the window. 61-43 with 15:20 to go.
Yeah, you can't be happy if you're Dutcher with that turnover. You got to connect on those. Either make the pass and make sure it's there, or don't make the pass, or be ready for the pass if you're Dixon Waters.
Compton is fouled in the act of shooting. And that'll take us right back to a break. 15:09 to go in regulation. The Aztecs have opened up their biggest lead of the game as they lead with 15:09 to go. Now the Aztecs have only missed one shot to start the second half of play. They're shooting 83%, 5 of 6 to start the second half. They were up 20 a moment ago. Meantime, Lamar can't find the bucket. There's a lid on it. They are 1 for 7, 14%. And again, this is kind of the way it trended against Texas A&M Corpus Christi on Saturday when they opened up Southland Conference play. Remember what I told you, that their field goal defense completely broke down in the second half, allowing A&M Corpus Christi to make 64% of their second half shots.
It's been a really interesting game to watch from an analyst chair, is that you look at where these guys scoring from, right? San Diego State scoring in the paint, and Lamar not scoring in the paint, but using that long ball game. They only have 6 points in the paint, does Lamar, to SDSU's 24. But with San Diego State running that great ball screen action that they get downhill, they get a lot of shots at the rim, they get a lot of offensive boards with putbacks right at the rim. So not surprised they're scoring in the paint.
Pharaoh Compton committed the foul, and Pharaoh Compton commits what is team foul number 1, his first foul. Lamar is going to get a chance to inbound it once they wipe up all the sweat from Compton falling on his backside there underneath the basket. In front of another pretty good crowd here at Viejas Arena. It's for real in conference play against Air Force a week from tonight. See a lot of conferences now kind of opening up conference play early in December and then breaking until January. Lee off the inbound. That's the third time off the inbound. He's at a catch-and-shoot 3 that he's made.
Baseline 3.
Yeah, it's their 11th made 3, almost doubling their average of 3-point makes per game on the season. 62-46.
How about this for home cooking? In the last 99 home games, SDSU 89-11. An average scoring margin, 16.5 points, Steve.
Love it. And then there's that Troy game in there, right?
Yeah, we're not talking about that one.
Compton almost had the basket on the foul. And Compton earlier fouled Braden East, and this time Braden East is going to foul Pharaoh Compton. And we're going to have shots here for Pharaoh Compton. He had a career-high 22 minutes against UVU, did the sophomore. 3 blocks against Utah Valley, at 12 points off the bench in that game. And Lee Jr. comes out for Lamar, leading scorer with 16 on 4 of 10 shooting. They're shooting 34%. That's about where the Aztec field goal defense is on a good night. Around the perimeter it goes, driving is Knight, takes it to the rack, knocked out of there. Newman has it. Newman surveying, gets it to a trailing Compton, who's fouled as he drives in. Wasn't pretty, but he'll take the shots coming as he lands right in the lap of our videographer down there, one of our photographers.
And that's how you pick up some of those paint points. You just run and you fill the lane, get right down the middle, let your guys hit you underneath the bucket, get a little fast break action. You know, I don't know if, Steve, I don't know if Air Force wants to come and play here next. So it's a Wednesday night game, and it's in December.
Yep.
And the Aztecs play well, 34-9 when playing on Wednesday, 34-10 of a record playing in December.
Interesting.
Super important with Mountain West Conference play and how tough it is. You've got to defend home court, and our guys are really good at home.
Told you Lamar's already got a Southland Conference game under their belt. It was on Saturday. 220 NCAA net ranking for Lamar. Win at Montana back in November, probably their best win so far on the resume. 5-3, and again holding opponents to 62 points per game, but the Aztecs have bucked the trend here because with 14-19 to go, San Diego State's over that mark at 64. Here's King Wilhite. Knight over to Goreville. Buries what is their 12th 3 of the game. One more and they'll double their average per game.
Well, he's a confident shooter. He's a rhythm shooter, has such a pretty jump shot. Really admire what he's done from the three-ball line tonight.
Lamar probably wants to bottle some of this home and bring it into Southland Conference play. Davis, nifty move. Compton with a cleanup. Blocked by East. He says, I'll take that. And he does. Goes ahead to Wilhite. Stop the dribble. Bounce pass low post to White. Newman knocked it away. Knocked it out. And it's sticking with Lamar. 20 to go on the shot clock. Talking about the net ranking for Lamar at 220. The Aztecs up to 93 today, improving quite a bit. Last week they were at 127. Not sure why it shot up so much. I'm not sure a win over Utah Valley would do that, although it was a quad three win. They were 77th in the nation. Here's Knight. Knight into the double team, kick corner, lining up the three is Gambrell, and he gets it. There it is. They've doubled their average. They're hanging around by making a 13th three in 30 attempts. It's 39 of their 52 points have come from three. Meantime, Aztec bench scoring only 3 in the second half. That goes off the window. That's Sean Newman Jr., so that'll count as 2 more bench points. They've got 30, and here's a foul. That's going against Jaden Gambrell. Fourth team foul against the Cardinals. BJ Davis will inbound. Aztecs in the signing period signed Zach White out of Sherman Oaks, Notre Dame. He had a big game the other day, a 20-point game. He's a really big guard. I've seen him play quite a bit this year. He's probably going to get a lot more, his offensive game better now that Tyron Stokes is up at Rainier Beach. But strong little pickup there of White. His dad, the legendary Russell White, played at Cal and for the Rams at Crespi High School. J.O. a three. Well, anything you can do, I can do better, right, Lamar? And that goes off into Goreville. That's the Annie get your gun three right there.
Well, I tell you, it's a good thing the Aztecs are a strong offensive team because Lamar is shooting the rock really well. And when you play the three ball, you can get quite a few points. But the thing is, the Aztecs putting up 69 on you. Boy, I tell you, Lamar, very impressive from the bonus distance.
Aztecs have made 6 triples. And White cleans it up and foul. They'll get a chance at a three-point play the hard way here. Take it any way you can get it in this building that has been a house of horrors for opponents over the years. And Errol White from Queens, New York will get a chance to go to the line for one.
And there's just way too much time in this game in the way that Lamar is shooting the three ball for anybody to think that this is a comfortable 12 minutes and 26 seconds left for the Aztecs.
White had 4 blocks last Saturday at Corpus Christi. They're a team that averages 8 blocks a game. They had 8 blocks on Saturday. Newman lobs it up. Farrow! And Farrow put it on the floor and jams it home. That's what he does best.
He dunks.
Although he missed 2 of them against Utah Valley.
He doesn't miss a whole bunch of dunks. He wasn't going to miss that one. But I thought he stayed focused after he missed those 2 dunks last week. He cleaned some things up, and he did well.
Yeah, that was the announcer jinx. Here's Gambrell. Brick the 3. Remember we were talking about how 51% of his career field goals are dunks, and he missed 2 of them. Here's J.O. J.O. got position. Count it!
You don't have to be a three-point shooting team to get the three ball. When you get to the rim and you go strong and you go for the and one.
Aztecs back up 19, 11:47 to go. Admire this one. Hard-earned bucket by Farrow. J.O. with another big one to the Aztecs. Aztecs in command, 73-54. Steve Quist alongside former Aztec basketball player Tammy Blackburn. There is 11:47 to go. Oden at the line to complete the three-point play. The transfer from UNC Charlotte did not play there last year. Career started at Wyoming, progressed to DePaul. He's had 3 different senior seasons. One at DePaul, Last year was to be his last, but because of the injury at UNC Charlotte, he gets a third senior season here at San Diego State. And he's done a good job in the starting lineup so far for the Aztecs through the first 7+ games.
Yeah. At some point, he'll cross the 1,000 career point scoring line for his career.
For a big.
Yep, 62 points he needed coming into this game, and he's got 6, so he's down to what, 56?
Yep. Got a big opportunity at the beginning of the year because Magoon Guaf was still coming back from the knee surgery, and so put J.O. in. He did a pretty good job. Simmons was just emerging. You're still trying to really get Guaf back into game shape. You might notice he really can go up and down the floor only like 5 or 6 times before you got to sub him out. Compton is going to get a reach in here. This has been a pretty good second half battle here. Compton against Braden East. Farrow takes the brunt of this one down the floor for his second foul.
It's not easy to get in game shape when you've been out. And speaking of, Goon is back in. He played about half of the first half. And
I'm going to count right now. I'm not a very good multitasker, but I'm going to try and count how many times he goes up and down the floor. Let's mark that in. Zero's in at the 11:06 mark.
You could probably do a little tally. That might help you a little bit.
Yes. Inbound to Lee, leading scorer for Lamar with 16. It's one of 3, leading with 4 rebounds for the Cardinals. Zip the pass, running the baseline. Hopefield blocked by Magoon Guaf. That is his 9th block of the season, 77th career block in 31+ games. All right, that's 1 time down the floor for Goon. Still playing with the big knee brace on his right knee. Hyperextended the knee against Utah State in February of last year. Arthroscopic knee surgery in April. He's blocked. And he'll come back down on the floor for a second time. Shot fake by Lee and a reach in by Oden. That basket will not count. Little break here might mean Guaf gets
it will
another
help
time
too.
down the
Yeah,
floor.
he's a rim protector. Here he is right here going up. He gets the block. The Aztecs ranked 8th in the nation in blocks per game. Last year, they swatted about 27. I think they've got a really good opportunity to be a real quality shot blocking team, of course, this year with their bigs. It's the year of the bigs for the Aztecs.
Oh, that one scored over the top of the length of Guaf. Oden picked up his 3rd foul, by the way, on that last play. And that was East, who now has 2 points in the game, made his first field goal. Guaf setting the screen here for Newman to catch the pass. Into the corner, Oden. Back out, Guaf from the elbow, puts it up and scores it. Magoon Guaf. He's got 8 on 4 of 10 shooting.
And by the way, those 27 swats that I just mentioned, it's the team's first 6 contests this year, after having ranked 8th in the nation last year.
I've got Guaf as 4 times down the floor.
4 times? So is 94 feet one time?
It is.
Okay.
And a takeaway. This will be his 5th time down. And Davis hides the ball, drives in with a left hand and scores it. How about that? 78-56. I just don't want, if I count this many times, and here's 6, I don't want him like grabbing me like an airplane and say, hey, have your man. Oh, another block by Magoon Guaf. I don't want him to grab me and say, hey, tell your old man to drag Lanier's rear end up and down the floor every night. 2 blocks from Magoon Guaf. He now has at least 1 block in 28 of his 32 career games. .9:05 to go. Foul was the 4th on Oden, and Harrington will have to come back in along with Dixon Waters. I want to check the minutes here on Simmons. Only 7 minutes for Tay Simmons. Bit of a surprise after that breakout game against Utah Valley. Been an interesting night for Harrington. He was hot early. Scored on his first made field goal. He had that 3, and he's only been out there for 8 minutes, Tammy, here. Again, sometimes it's matchups.
Try to get other guys in, see different rotations before you hit your first conference game a week from tonight against Air Force.
Well, that's the big scuttlebutt is is the rotation too big at this point? Right? You played the game. It's 11 guys, or do you go like a Musselman when he was at Nevada who'd only play 7, or do you play 8? When do you start settling on it? Who gets in there?
Well,
feelings get hurt.
Dutch knows best. He's coached for a lot of years, and he's coached a lot of good players and had some teams that have been loaded. And, I think certainly when you ask that question, you look at last week's game, and it was, 49 to 77 points, and pretty good to have that rotation. Plus, you've got some guys that are still banged up, right? Still trying to get them back, so too soon to decide maybe what your rotation is. I think you've still got a little bit of time before you're going to find out truly who's going to be average before that average settles, right?
So Oden out with a 4 foul, Simmons back in. You know what, maybe I'll text John Schaefer on Aztec Talk tonight. I'll be Larry from Lubbock and ask about his thoughts on the 11-man rotation now with the conference play beginning next Wednesday. Guath passed up on the 3. Inside of 9 minutes to go, cutting in off the screen. Dixon Waters shoots it, missed it. Got a new jersey now for de Goreville. It's going to confuse me with Dixon Waters. He must have got blood on his 24 jersey because now he's wearing 35.
With no name on the back.
But he must have really torn up 24. I'm doing high school football this weekend, the state championships. It's always fun. There's always one knucklehead that leaves his jersey in class. And I can't figure it out. I have to make sure I ask the coaches.
That knucklehead was me in college.
Here's East over the top, and it's Simmons. Did you really do that at Brea Olinda?
No,
at college.
College. One time I left it. We were playing Seton Hall, and we were on the East Coast in New Jersey, and I left it at the hotel. I left a.
What'd they do?
Well, somebody had to run back and get it.
Oh, wow.
Get in the team van and hustle.
Was Beth your coach then? Beth
yes.
She made you go back? You couldn't Uber back then, right?
No, there was no ride share. Yeah. No such thing. It was called maybe my parents hustled back to the hotel or something.
I told you I couldn't multitask, but if I had to guess, Guath has been up and down the floor 8 times.
I think that's fair.
Yep, he's had the advantage of a couple of fouls, but I wouldn't be surprised if he's coming out here shortly. Oh, you know what's next is the media timeout, so he'll get an extended
he'll probably get
break
a sub.
Here. Yeah, next dead ball under 8 minutes.
Yeah.
Harrington to Guath, little handoff. Harrington's going to get to his favorite spot on the floor. He misses. Inside of 8 minutes to go. Aztec lead is 20. It's been as many as 22 at the 9:22 mark. Holyfield. Lee, a little bounce pass to East. East over the top of Goon. Saving it from going out of bounds was Dixon Waters, but he shouldn't be able to touch it again, right? If you save it from going out and you go out of bounds, you can't do it. Break in the action, 7:28 to go. Aztecs with a 20-point lead at home against the Lamar Cardinals. Well, as we talked about, Lamar had a second-half field goal defense breakdown in their Southland Conference opener on Saturday against Texas A&M Corpus Christi, and it's rearing its ugly head again a few days later on the road at San Diego State. The Aztecs have shot 61% in the second half. Meantime, Lamar can't find that rhythm. They're 6 of 19, 31% in the second half. And they made 10 threes in the first half, only 3 in the second half so far. And they're down 20 here with 7:28 to go.
Lamar has done a really good job of taking care of the ball, considering San Diego State, I think, has done a pretty good job of pressuring them. Yeah. They're good ball handlers, and San Diego State's turned it over 12 times.
And Lamar only turns it over on average 11.5 a game, and this is by far
that's really good.
Yeah, the toughest defense they're probably going to face all year, to be quite honest with you. Montana might have been really tough up at Missoula, but nobody's tougher than the Aztecs year in and year out, and nobody's a better closer than the Aztecs inside of 5 minutes to go, and we're getting close to 5 minutes to go. Trying to get a steal here are the Aztecs, and instead it'll be a shot clock violation. So Lamar turns it over for a 13th time. How about these numbers inside of 5 minutes to go? And I know we got 2:08 before we hit the 5-minute mark, but San Diego State is 177-12 under head coach Brian Dutcher. when it has the lead with 5 minutes to play, and they've won 22 consecutive games. So they must not have had the lead against Troy at all a couple of weeks back, which is interesting.
You know, that Troy game, this Aztec team could have done one of two things. They could have dwelled on that loss, and they could have, put their heads down low and said, oh, my goodness. But they could have also said, we got to put it in the past. We cannot think one more ounce when we walk out of this arena about Troy, and that's what they did.
Yeah.
They took care of business, and they got after it in practice, obviously.
Unfortunately, Michigan was next up after that, right?
Obviously, they went to Vegas. And
Michigan's destroying everybody. They lost by 40 here. Michigan did a number last night on Villanova. I mean, the two teams right now that are heads and tails above everybody else is Arizona and Michigan, both winning against good opponents by a lot of points. Arizona's beaten already in the first month of the season the last three national champions. That would be UConn and Florida. Banked in out of the hands of Ian Lowe. He only averages 1 point again. The freshman from Fort Bend, Texas. His brother Jalen is a guard at Kentucky right now.
I watched that Arizona-UConn game. I've seen some Houston men's games, and, Alvin Brooks, the head coach here at Lamar, coached under Calvin Sampson at University of Houston. Talk about a team that plays defense, University of Houston.
Yep. Harrington misses just his third three of the season. And Simmons, the freshman, going for the steal. He'll get called for the foul on Holyfield. I like that. That's an aggressive play on a ball. That's going to happen.
I think sometimes coaches don't want you to overcommit, or they want you to have more body control. But I felt like Simmons thought he actually had that, like could steal that one.
So here's Holyfield to the line. He'd missed his first two free throws. Aztecs will sub in Miles Bird, B.J. Davis to try and close things out. And Dixon Waters and Harrington come out with 5:49 to go. Holyfield, 13.5 points a game, 6 boards for the senior from Beaumont, Texas. Boy, some gaudy numbers for B.J. Davis the last 6 games. As DeGorville turns the corner, puts it up, and gets the friendly bounce. 2 more, they're at 80 to 61. B.J. is 25 for his last 49 shooting field goals, 9 of 18, 50%, and 33 of 34 on free throws. Wow, over the top East scores on the other end. He's good for almost 12 a game, and a team-leading 7.8 rebounds. The sophomore from Houston, Texas.
You know how last week against Utah Valley, Dave Velasquez, the associate head coach, came out and did a defensive drill 4-on-4 before the game, right before in warmups. B.J. Davis was the guy in the press conference after they won that said, I hope we continue to do it because it puts us in the right mindset.
Interesting.
It's not every day that you see guys saying, like, hey, go ahead and give us a 6-7 minute.
What'd you say? 6-7? 6-7? 6-7?
Know, right? 4 to 5 minute little defensive workout there.
You didn't know you were doing this game with a 14-year-old little girl, did you?
But I think it was pretty cool that he said he hopes they did it. And, of course, they did it before this game. I think it might be something that might become sort of a staple this season.
5-second violation there. Aztecs good defense on the inbound, a turnover. Didn't know you were next to Sabrina Carpenter tonight.
Yeah, I know, right? I still don't understand what 6-7 is, but it's got to be some kind of a trend.
How about
that
In
just
and Out
caught on.
has banned it. They've pulled numbers 6 and 7, so the teenage kids can't go to the desk.
Did you see what Nick Saban did the other night at the ceremony with that black tech? Was it maybe a Hall of Fame thing, something? Anyway, he did the whole 6-7 thing. I was like, oh, come on, Nick.
Yeah, were you here for the field trip game? The kids were doing that.
Yes.
There was, when it got to, remember when it was 67 points and the whole place, 2,500 kids in here for the women's game the other day. Foul is going to be on East. That'll be his 4th. 17-point lead for the Aztecs. With the number change, this is DeGorville at the free throw line, and he misses. East will check out with 4 points, 3 rebounds. Again, that number inside of 5 minutes to go. It's even greater at a bigger sample size. We said 177-12 under Dutch when leading inside of 5 minutes to play. 433-16 in their last 449 games. Glad I'm not the one who has to count up the box score there.
Ooh, Wilhite went down hard on the deck. Quick first step. Wilhite has.
Tay Simmons the foul. White comes back in. That's the 9th team foul against the Aztecs. And we'll see Magoon come in just outside of the break zone here. So it gives you a little more height. Simmons out with 2 fouls. And then Magoon will only have to go up and down the floor a couple of times before he gets an additional break. First dead ball under 4 minutes will be the next media timeout. '81-64, 17-point lead. Another free throw coming. 11 of 15 at the line is Lamar. Aztecs have been to the free throw line 29 times tonight, including Compton, who's been there 10 times. It hasn't felt like that. Holyfield the 3 for second chance points. No. DeGorville racing down the floor in transition against Holyfield, knocked away. Turnover Aztecs. DeGorville's had a couple of those here late inside of 5 minutes to go. 12 turnovers for the Aztecs. Compton comes back in and Heidi out at the 4:08 mark. Wilhite. Lee. Compton swiping at it. Bulich. White. And a steal by Bird.
Nice.
Miles Bird took it away, got it knocked away, and it's going to be out off of Lamar. It'll be Aztec basketball. That'll take us to a break. Aztecs will have it when we come back. They'll also have a 17-point lead, although I wouldn't be surprised if Lamar challenges, and I think they're going to here. 3:46 to go in regulation. Lamar will challenge back right after this. Officials at the monitor because Lamar just challenged that out-of-bounds play. It was as off the steal by Bird. He was going into the front court, and Lamar knocked it out. And Alvin Brooks thinks that it was off the Aztecs as they've looked at it. Here's your coach's appeal, challengeable plays, and you have to have a timeout. You get one challenge, and if you win it, you get to keep it. You get a second one. And it stands. Okay, so Lamar loses the timeout, even though there was the media timeout. They lose the timeout. It'll be Aztec basketball. So out-of-bounds violation, that was what we saw right there. Whether free throws should be awarded when a foul is committed in close proximity to a change in possession. Backcourt violations and whether a foul was assessed to the correct player. And that's kind of the liberal one that we've seen. That's sort of like, okay, you're challenging a foul call. So it'll be Aztec basketball in the backcourt.
Tell you, it was great defense by Miles Bird. He was in a stance. He was in denial. He got the steal. And it'll be their ball. Great effort by him before that timeout.
For the Aztecs. Remember when Miles Bird had the flu the other day? He wasn't scoring, but he still, in 19 and a half minutes, affected the game with 2 big steals, winning the Aztecs a couple of extra possessions in a close game with Utah Valley that eventually was an 11-point win for the Aztecs.
You know what I like about Bird right there, though, on that play? It's like they're up by 17. There's under 4 minutes to play, and he's in a stance in denial, playing, passing lane, and picks up the steal. And that's exactly the type of tone you need your veteran to play, to set. And that's what the rest of the guys, that's what they got to do.
He wasn't happy about that turnover, the 13th of the night. By the way, the bench scoring, another solid effort, Tammy, 43 points.
Yep.
Not 59, but 43 is solid, and you still got a little over 3 minutes to go as the crowd thins out on a school night around the holidays. And Goon grabs the rebound, which is his 5th of the night. Aztecs are +9 on the boards. Normally, it's a Lamar team that has out-rebounded their opponents by an average of 5 per night. Here's Davis. He's been solid off the bench. Little crossover, goes to work on Lee, spin move, and missed it. But Guath has it with the left hand, missed that one. Compton got it, and a foul as he went up at the 2:30 mark. Need a 17 foul against Lamar, so there'll be shots coming. And Compton Farrow, it's kind of surprised me, but he's been at the free throw line 10 times in the game. He's made 5 of 10.
Tell you who's out on the floor right now for the Aztecs. Sean Newman Jr. in almost 20 minutes of play, 8 points, only 1 turnover, 2 assists. Had the ball in his hands quite a bit, taking care of the ball.
The Aztecs, every player who has played tonight, all 11 has scored. Glad you talked about Newman there, because now he's got 22 assists to just 9 turnovers, so a 2-to-1 assist-to-turnover ratio. That's going to play at any level. Bird with 5 to shoot with the left hand. Nicked the front of the iron, and Lee comes away with it. Lamar with an 18, stolen by Compton Farrow. B.J. Davis, 6 straight games in double figures, largest of his career. Bird runs the baseline, he missed. And Farrow with the foul there, just a frustration foul on Holyfield.
Miles Bird just shocked that he did not pick up that foul call there and on his baseline drive to the bucket.
Bird has made half his shots tonight, 14 points. There's only 2 Aztecs in double figures here against Lamar. Davis, the 16 off the bench, and 14 for Bird. Aztecs have put Lamar in the double bonus, so here's Holyfield at the 155 mark. He could become the 4th Cardinal in double figures if he makes one of these 2 free throws, and there it is. They're led by 16 for Lee, 12 for Knight. Wilhite has 10 and Holyfield has 10. White back in, Knight departs.
Knight, a sharp shooter. Boy, I love his rhythm jumper, especially from long range.
He had a 3 earlier in the game that was quite impressive. Again, they had 10 of their 13 threes in the first half and have cooled off big time in the second half. Aztecs have cooled off too. They have no field goals in their last 333, but neither does Lamar. They don't have a field goal in their last 322. Breaking the press, Davis. Davis, straight line drive in, gives it off to Magoon Guaf, who easily puts it in.
Nice pass, unselfish by Davis.
Magoon Guaf, 10 points, 6 rebounds in 18 minutes on the floor. Magoon came in averaging just over 9 points a game and 4 rebounds. Lee missed the 3 offensive rebound. Holyfield off of Bird to keep possession with 19 to go on the shot clock.
Tonight's the night, Steve, where Magoon is starting to really feel like, hey, I can go longer. I'm starting to get in better game shape, and you can see it in his body language, the way he's running up and down the floor, the way he's getting to the rim, the guys are connecting with him. And this is a key turning point for him as he starts to get in game shape right at the right time.
Yeah, he'll likely end with 20 minutes as his workload here tonight. Aztecs are going to get the win here to get to 5-3 in Mountain West Conference play a week from tonight. And then Arizona, not this upcoming Saturday, but next Saturday. The Arizona Wildcats are going over to Birmingham to play Alabama and try and beat another top 20 team. And I think a lot of folks were thinking the Aztecs would be in the top 25 when they had that collision with Arizona on the 20th in Phoenix. Not going to be the case. 2 shots are coming here for Lee, closing in on an 18-point game with 1:18 to go.
Wilhite just checked out for Lamar, and Knight, again, who did a quick substitution in and out. He's back out. Wilhite, heck of a player. He's going to have a really good season for this Lamar team.
Yeah, they'll be a tough out in the Southland Conference.
He's a hustle player. He's kind of that engine for this squad. Good ball handler. Lowe, another guy that Brian Dutcher at shoot-around today talked about, number 11, Lowe. Said he's just, he's a problem for a lot of teams. Could be a problem for us.
Aztecs break the press. Here's Goon.
Ooh.
Yeah, a little ball handling skills
between his legs.
Maybe he'll be a point guard at the next, a 0.5 at the next level, huh? Newman. 1 minute to go, 10 seconds to go on the shot clock. Here's Newman, kick out. Bird lines up the left-handed 3 and hits it. 17 for Miles Bird to lead the Aztecs in scoring. Good bounce-back game. He's also got 5 rebounds, 4 assists. Yeah, 3 turnovers, but 29 minutes, you like the aggressive nature. 87-68, he might get 2 more here. Flight 21, throws it down. Oh, it's good to see both Miles were healthy, right? Miles Heide came back from the hip contusion. Back from the flu is Miles Bird, and he flew right there in for that dunk. Lee, the 3 is good. Wing right, 21 points for Robert Lee Jr. Leading scorer for the Cardinal at 14 a game. We told you 43% on threes. He's got 5 of 10 threes in this game, a team leading 23 threes now. Shot clock is off. Aztecs can dribble it out. Bench scoring with 44 points again tonight. Final horn sounds, and the Aztecs improve to 5-3, and conference play up next on Wednesday, December the 17th against the Air Force Falcons. And you got a chance right out of the gate against Air Force and San Jose State to build a little equity in the Mountain West Conference right out of the gate. Two sides shake hands, 89-71. Let's look at some of the highlights rather. Bird with a strong effort. 19 points, 16 for Davis, 10 for Goff, and 9 for Dixon Waters.
Thought Bird played a heck of a game. You know, again, he's that veteran guy for this team. As you see this guy, I mean, he's coming out of timeouts when he's on the bench talking to his team saying, let's get going. But, you know, on the floor, the guy's all business. And you see just, I think, a well-balanced scoring game here for the Aztecs. I think a lot of guys got on the scoreboard tonight.
Yeah, everybody who scored,
see Newman,
everybody who played scored.
That's right. I think, you know, Newman, we talked about him and how he had a great game. Look at that pass right there. And J.O. got the chance to get on the board there from deep range.
8 3-point makes in this game. On the other ledger, 14 threes for Lamar. That's a big league hang with him when you knock down 14 threes and you still lose by 18 on the road. Rim protection was outstanding. Goff a couple of more blocks tonight. 2 of the 6 for the Aztecs. That gives him 78 in his career in 32 games. B.J.
Davis with a nifty move. He continues to dazzle us. Such a great bench player and a momentum getter.
6 consecutive games in double figures for B.J. Davis. That's the best stretch of his Aztec career, and doing it off the bench. The leading scorer in the nation off the bench adds more to the resume, as he had 16 off the bench today on 5 of 8 shooting, and a perfect 5 for 5 from the free throw line. And the only guy to play 30 minutes in this game was Miles Bird, and rewarded Dutch with 19 points, 5 rebounds, and 4 assists. Finishes it off with a slam dunk. Aztecs